Ya van días y varias semanas.
He hasn't given no response, and it's been days and it's been weeks, and he hasn't said anything. Y espero logren su objetivo de la justicia a su país. Luchen por su país. Say the best. Sacrifice for your country. Están bloqueando el acceso. ¡Viva! Porque la Policía Federal o la autoridad nos está deteniendo el acceso y nos está deteniendo el paso para poder cruzar hacia el Zócalo, señores.
Good evening to everybody. I'm Oscar Blue for Border Negro News. God bless everybody that is watching. God bless our country of Mexico, our city of Tijuana, and God bless the United States of America. Let's thank God for giving us 2 legs, 2 arms, a mind that we can think, a heart that we can feel, and eyes that we can see. Share this video so we can get more people on the live feed. Thank you so much for joining. Buy me a coffee. It's on the description box and also on the top of the link. If you guys would like to contribute to my work, buy me a coffee. It's on the description box. Also in YouTube. We are live in YouTube and Facebook. Thank you so much if you'd like to contribute to my work. God bless. Let's start. Gas shortages. I wish that I can talk to Political Avenger because she knows what I'm talking about. She has a phenomenal brain. I'm in love with Political Avenger's brain, man. She is extremely smart. She's a woman that is extremely smart. If you guys want to get, the whole get down of what this gas shortage and where it's going, because it's going somewhere, go to Political Avenger's, page and, and follow her. Political Avenger. That is her name. Gas shortages. Why is it happening? Why? Is it the first time that it has happened? Is it a planification? Because these leftist tabloid writers, they're going to call us, oh, he's a conspiracy theorist. Oh, my God, this conspiracy. They create hysteria, and he's so inadmissible. Right? But we know that gas shortages, they have one purpose. And the ultimate purpose, if you guys don't know what happened to Venezuela, if you guys don't know what happened to Argentina, if you guys don't know what happened in Mexico, if you guys don't know what is happening in all Central American countries, like example, Honduras also, if you guys don't know where this is going, it has to do with something. And a lot of people on my message box, they're really smart because we have been talking about this for the longest time. And there's a comment right here, which is going to lead to that ultimate last, statement that I will say in article. Somebody saying they're trying to sell these electrical cars. You are so smart. Gas shortages. It has to do with the Paris deal. I'm sorry for all these conspiracy theories that they're going to call me. Oh my God, that is so QAnon-y. I don't even follow QAnon, man. I don't believe in QAnon. I believe in what I read. I believe in what I see. I believe in what I watch. I believe that where it's going. And it is my belief. It is my freedom of speech. And it is my freedom of belief. So whoever wants to believe it or not, I'm just predicting where this is going. Now, I will show you, and I will go article through article through article through article. And as I predicted, and I have said this before, China wants to decrease the contaminants of hydrocarbons, carbon monoxide, and carbon dioxide by the year 2035. He wants to decrease them. Xi Jinping said that he wants to decrease to 65%. By the year 2065, he wants to eliminate hydrocarbons, carbon monoxide, and carbon dioxide. This means that gasoline is not going to be necessary for the automobile industry that is the most contaminant with motorcycles in the world. So they are trying to eliminate that by 2065. Now, does China has had gas shortages? Have you ever wondered that? If it is all a planification? These people think that we're so stupid, man, of what they're trying to do. This is why the Paris deal, and now they have achieved an irregular migration and an irregular influx around the world with the globalist compact of immigration. And I've been talking about this for the longest time. Globalist compact of the environment, the globalist compact of education. That is the next one that is coming after they achieve their Machiavellical plan of the climate change ideology and indoctrination to the world. So let me go article through article. This is the governor of Michigan, I believe so, whose name is Gretchen Whitmer. And right here, she's saying Governor Gretchen Whitmer, Democrat, has ordered a Canadian energy company to shut down an oil and gas pipeline that runs through the Straits of Mackinac, claiming the pipeline is a ticking time bomb, even though the company says the line has never leaked into the straits. The Guardian reported that Whitmer told the Canadian company Enbridge to shut down the pipeline known as Line 5 by Wednesday due to activists, look at this, that fears that it could spill any day. The pipeline has operated nearly 67 years. And according to Enbridge, the portion of the pipeline that runs through the straits has never leaked. A difference Enbridge pipeline spilled 145,000 gallons of oil into Michigan's Kalamazoo River back in 2010. So this inevitably has to do with something that I will be explaining, that is lithium. Now, article number 1, right? We're going through article number 1, and let's go with article number 2 that explains now why gas shortages, man. Why? And we're going to go article through article through article so we can understand where this gas shortage it's going to, right? This is an article released by Channel 6 ABC, updated 25 minutes ago, that it says that AAA urges people not to panic to buy gasoline. And it says Philadelphia, the shutdown of the Colonial Pipeline, which transports gas from Texas to New York Harbor, has caused an unwarranted panic buying of gasoline across much of the southeastern part of the nation. The tri-state and receives about 45% of its gas from the Colonial Pipeline. There are other options too, including international imports, other pipelines, and refineries. That means don't panic. There's enough gas to go around here. Quote unquote, we got a number of resources for finished refined products such as gasoline, said Sal Risalbato, executive director of New Jersey Gasoline Retailers Association. Article number 2. Going article through article so you guys can understand where this is going. This has an ultimate goal. This has an ultimate goal. Now let's go to the other article. This right here. Right here. Right here. And it says right here, safety 20 gas shortage according to CNET. Gas shortage 2021. When service will restart on the hacked pipeline, May 12, 2021. And it says a major U.S. petroleum pipeline that has been shut since last weekend will resume operations on Wednesday, but market disrupted by the closure may take days to return to normal. Colonial Pipeline. Now, the first article that I shown you a governor of Michigan, which in that place of Michigan, you got the triple fantastic, right? You got Ilhan Omar, you got, Rashida Tlaib, you got all of those people on the east of the country. Now, this is article number 2. Everybody's panicking about gas shortage and why is it happening? We don't understand why. We have a lot of shortage. Now, is it part of the Machiavellical plan? Is it part of the Paris deal? Because climate change, they have been pushing this. Alexandria Ocasio talking about that it's not a border crisis, it's a climate change crisis. Now they're pushing the climate change. Consistently, they're pushing the climate change. But they don't know that there's people that they have known that these kind of shortages have been happening for the longest of time. And it's a planification, as I told you, as I'm a conspiracy theorist, like these leftists say. Venezuela was an exam of how to achieve communism, how to achieve socialism, and how to be part of this globalistic agenda. Venezuela, it is an absolute exercise. Welcome everybody that is watching. Oscar Blue right here. Buy me a coffee. It is pinned on the bottom. Thank you so much for contributing to my work. So Venezuela says right here, this article was released on September 10 of 2020. It says Venezuela's fuel shortage upends longtime Colombian border gas smuggling trade. So it has to do with huachicoleros now. Huachicoleros, those are the guys that they have been stealing the gasoline. So you got a gasoline crisis from cartel or from organized groups that they have been stealing gasoline from the pipelines. So it causes a gas shortage into a country. And ultimately, they're going to say that this has to do with sanctions of the United States of America. And it says Venezuela's worst economic meltdown in history has had a huge impact on neighboring Colombia, where hospitals and schools and welfare agencies are dealing with 2 million Venezuelan refugees. But the crisis has preceded at least a silver lining for Colombia, that curdling of gasoline and smuggling. Wow. And it says the business has, quote unquote, has totally died. Now, however, Venezuela's oil industry has collapsed. Many of its refineries have shut down while the government lack of cash to import gasoline, combined with U.S. sanctions targeting the oil sector, had led to chronic fuel shortages. That means Venezuelans now pay as much as $10 a gallon on the black market, and there's no more cheap fuel to resell in Colombia. Gas shortages in Venezuela. This is another article from Venezuela talking about gas shortages. This is the number one reason why you see that the OPEP, the Organization International of Petroleum, did not want to do anything with China anymore, anything with Russia, because Russia was not lowering down the price of the gallon when there was an economical collapse due to the pandemic. But Russia and China did not lower down the gallon. Other countries of the world did. You got Venezuela right here, another one from the Washington Post that says oil-rich Venezuela is running out of gas and Maduro is running out of options. Another article released on April 16 of 2020 says Caracas, Venezuela, with friends and family stuck indoors and buses rarely running. Okay, buses rarely running. So you avoid the contaminant of cars and buses. So you lower down the contaminant of carbon dioxide, hydrocarbons, and carbon monoxide, right? By collapsing the automobile industry. Those are the ones that use oil, gasoline, petroleum. And now everybody in the boat industry and the vessel industry that transports containers from the Mediterranean Sea and imports and exports, and this economical collapse war that is occurring of international trade. Now all of these companies that they have these vessels, now they are in the Paris deal, because if they're not in the Paris deal, they're not going to be eligible to work. Look how they says right here, when Venezuela's strict national coronavirus lockdown was this third developing country, which boasts the world's largest proven oil reserves, is running out of gas. Curious. It's really curious what everything is happening. Gas shortages. Is it really about gas shortages? Let us go to another article right here. Another article for you guys, so you guys can understand how this is all a planification. All of it a planification. Now, you got gas shortages in Venezuela. And in the country of Mexico, they were pushing that there was an organized crime, a cartel, that it was stealing gas, so much gasoline that it's called them the huachicoleros. That's the cartel organization. So it was spoken gas shortages in Mexico. By the way, Mexico just re-signed the Paris deal. Again, they signed the Paris deal. Again, they signed the Paris deal. Mexico. So now you got the gas shortages that have been existing in Mexico. This article was released on January 20th of 2019. And it says, why are there fuel shortages in Mexico? And they immediately blame it on criminals. Criminals known as huachicoleros have in recent years begun stealing from oil pipelines and selling fuel on the black market. Wait a minute. Didn't I just explain to you the same thing that it was happening in Venezuela? Hold on a minute. Venezuela was having exactly the same problem, wasn't it? I just read an article that they were saying Venezuela, their oil collapse because of these people that they're stealing gasoline, and also ultimately the U.S. sanctions. Now you got Mexico with gas shortages, and the oil and the gasoline is going up in Mexico. So you collapse the gasoline industry. It is just so incredible how these globalists are working. It is just unbelievable. So you got a collapse in Mexico also for gas shortages. You got an example in Venezuela also for gas shortages. So you have examples now of what they are trying to do. Little by little, they are working this. So you got now, you go to this article by the Energy Transition. Look what it says right there. How climate change affects the Honduran economy. Article released on the 7th of March of 2019. Look what it says right here. Honduras is only responsible for a tiny margin of global greenhouse gas emissions. So they're holding Honduras responsible. Minus 0.1% to be precise. Yet its economy will be destroyed by the impacts of climate change. So you have now to inevitably be in the Paris deal. And it says right here, the fact that the climate change poses a threat to global economic growth is not a new insight. As far as back as 27, Nicholas Stern and his team at the London School of Economics found that it could lead to a recession of a 20% of global if the world did nothing about climate change. Hold on a minute. Huh? So if all the industry, the vessel industry that transports containers of international exporting and importing around the world, they're not in the Paris deal, they will not have a job. If you are a country that wants to be a part of the new world economy that is importing and exporting and that is going to boost the economy due to a COVID pandemic, then now you got to be part of this regulations that they are the World Health Organization. Your people have to be, backs to work. And ultimately, your economy, if you want it to grow, you got to be part of the Paris deal, because other than that, you're going to be against the world. You're going to be inhuman. You are going to be contaminating. So you are responsible, like they're holding responsible right here, Honduras, for their minus 0.01 contamination. So right here, according to Nicholas Stern and his team at the London School of Economics found that it could lead to a recession of a 20% of global if the world did nothing about climate change. Of course, these economic effects are felt differently depending on a country's geographic position and economic wealth. Oh, really? This is Honduras. So I just put an example of Venezuela. I just put an example of Mexico. I just put an example of Honduras. Oh, is that all that we got? No, sir. That's not all. What do we got here? Argentina. What the hell's going on? Argentina's been having an energy crisis since 2004. In Argentina, it is the only country right now. It is the country that recently just approved abortion. And it is the country that has the Pope. It is Argentinian. And the Pope just approved to do exams and experiments on aborted fetus cells from the 1960s and 70s. Argentina, that is the one that is collapsing right now due to lockdowns and enforcement of the mask. That Argentina, you're telling me that also has an energy crisis? It says right here by Wikipedia, the Argentina energy crisis was a natural gas supply shortage. Again, shortage? What the hell? We're having shortages around the world now. This is incredible. And every country now in the continent of America is having a shortage. What the hell's going on? And it says right here, after the recession triggered by the economic crisis and ended in 2002, Argentina energy demands grew quickly and as an industry recovered. But an extraction and transportation of natural gas at cheap and relatively abundant fossil fuel did not match the surge. Isn't this amazing? Now, what is all of this? I will give an explanation, but read this article right here. That is the Paris deal. What is the Paris climate? And also, right here, this one. This article released by the ADF, the EDF, the Environmental Defense Fund. It says this overlooked climate pollutant could play a big role in reaching the Paris Agreement goals. This little paragraph right here, released by Mark Bronstein, published on December 3rd of 2019, gives you an insight of what is going to happen to the world with this new climate change Paris deal. It says right here, a United Nations report issued last week said the world needs to cut greenhouse gas emissions. Let me read it again. A United Nations report just last week said the world needs to cut greenhouse gas emissions by 7.6% per year for the next 10 years. When was this release? Published on December 3rd, 2019. For the next 10 years, what is from here to 10 years? 2030. Agenda 2030. Globalist Compact of Immigration, Globalist Compact of the Environment, Globalist Compact of Education that is coming by the Vatican and the Pope. Oh my God, I'm such a conspiracy theorist, creating hysteria without no fundamentals. It says right here, per year for the next 10 years, they need to meet the goals countries agreed to end the 2015 Paris Accord. That is compared to a 1.5% yearly growth rate over the past decade. And everybody's like, yeah, gas shortages. Nobody's explaining gas shortages right now in the U.S. Nobody is explaining it. Nobody is explaining the Paris deal. Nobody. Nobody's explaining that, a lot of countries are gas shortages right now. Now, what is the Paris deal? Is everybody, now that I have explained like a load of articles right here. And it says right here, the Paris Climate Agreement and why did the U.S. rejoin? And you see right here, the activists saying it's our future. And it says the U.S. has pledged to cut carbon emissions in half compared with 2005 levels. Listen to this that I just said, because it has a lot to do with the next article that I already posted 20-something million times already. The U.S. has pledged to cut carbon emissions in half compared to 2005 levels by the end of the decade. The new target will be unveiled at a virtual summit of 40 global leaders, the Globalist Compact of the Environment. The announcement comes after President Joe Biden reversed his predecessor, Donald Trump's decision to withdraw the U.S. from the Paris deal. So, it says adopted by nearly 200 countries in the French capital, 12 of December of 2015. All right, it says right here again, I will say it. The U.S. has pledged to cut carbon emissions in half. Why they want to do that? Who put the example of that? Is it the United States new master and the world's new master? You know which country I'm talking about, right? You guys know which country I'm talking about? You guys know which one, right? Is it this one? Is it that one? Why I'm putting this one? Because it says right here, of September 25, 2020, Xi Jinping, the dictator, the master, Xi Jinping, yes, sir. Yes, Xi Jinping, yes. Dang. Yes, Xi Jinping. You know what? Where is it, man? Where is it? Xi Jinping. China, says right here, pledges to carbon neutrality by 2060. China. China pledges to carbon neutrality by 2060. Holy cow. So China, the United States is cut in half. So it says China pledges carbon neutrality by 2060. And it says experts react to Chinese President Xi Jinping statement that China will ratchet up its climate ambition by achieving peak of emissions before 2030 that I just told you, and striving for carbon neutrality in 2060. This means electrical cars. Come here, baby. This is why I have done a show before where China right now is extracting minerals in Chile of lithium, extracting minerals in Central America of lithium. This is why China is extracting minerals in Bolivia, and they're putting their cheap man labor to pay cheap pay to the workers of Bolivia. This is why China already has investors in Mexico, in the part of Sonora where they have one of the biggest supplies of lithium in the world. This is why China right now, it is entering little by little Nevada, where they have in Nevada one of the biggest supplies of lithium. This is why Australia is having a gigantic war with China. Australia does not like Xi Jinping. Australia does not want nothing to do with Xi Jinping. Australia, it is the biggest one in the world, supplies with lithium, lithium batteries, lithium energy, lithium electrical cars, the new industry. Who is the country that leads the automobile industry in the world? China. How many vehicles that China sells around every year? 22.5 million cars per year, China. Who's the second one? The United States of America, with 11 point something million vehicles that they say per year, sell per year. And now you got gas shortages all of a sudden. And it says right here in the virtual address to the 75 UN General Assembly on September 22nd, Chinese President Xi Jinping said China will deliver stronger emissions reduction target, peak emissions before 2030, and strive to reach carbon neutrality before 2060. This is why, people, this is why the vessel industry that transports all these containers, 40-foot containers, 45-foot containers, 48 containers, the evergreen containers, you know, all the containers that they are in the international ports, that is like the Long Beach port in the United States of America. All these industrial companies that they are in exporting and importing, they have to adapt to the Paris deal. And if they don't adapt to the Paris deal, they will not be part of the new world economy. Oh my God, he's such a conspiracy theorist. Amazing. This is unbelievable. It's just and look at this. Since when it started, because nobody's talking about if China has had gas shortages. Everybody's saying China is the most incredible country in the world because it's a communist country, but their economy does not fail. It is the only economy, and it is so ridiculous. And I'm just going to be this. The Wu virus, that it was in Wuhan, that it was in the country of China, it affected China first and primary first, China, and then the world. And the only economy that it did not collapse was the Chinese economy, that has a plus 3.5 GDP, gross domestic product. Is the only economy that it was affected, but not affected entirely, like the other economies, like the United States, the most capitalist country of the world. My God, it's all a planification. This is phenomenal. And it says right here, according to this article by the Proceedings of the National Academy of Science of the United States of America, says natural gas shortages during the cold to gas transition in China have caused a large redistribution of air pollution in 2017. Amazing. It's just everything. And we leave the last article. The last article, why I leave it to last? Because it is the great, the one and only philanthropist organization, the United Nations. And it says right there on the top, welcome to the United Nations. Right there on the top it says. Ocean spray. Such a good. That's my favorite ocean spray, man. It says right there, sustainable development goals. Look at the O, man. Isn't it pretty? Oh my God, Oscar Blue, you're such a homophobic. You're such a xenophobe. Come on, Blue. I'm just saying, it is a really beautiful O, right? So it says right here, climate action. And it says tackling the climate change. Goal 13 calls for urgent action, combat climate change and its impacts. And it's strict. Oh my God, this is a difficult word in English. Intrinsically linked to all 16 of the other goals of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. To address climate change, countries adopted the Paris Agreement to limit global temperature rise to well below 2 degrees Celsius. Learn more about the Goal 13. So for everybody that is watching, how's everybody doing? Hope that you guys are doing great. Why there are these gas shortages? Is it because of a pipeline? Is it because, running out of gas? It's all part of a plan, people. This has happened before in other countries. And this has to do a lot with the Paris deal. A lot with the Paris deal. This is all about the Paris deal. It is the new step of this new world order. It is the other step of this new world order agenda, these 2030 agenda. Climate change. It's coming. A lot of people I was telling you back in 2018. Back in 2018, I was telling every single one of you, every single United States citizen that was listening to me on that particular time, I was telling every single one of you, New World Order is coming. It is a massive force that is going to hit you in the face that you are going to be, when did this happen? How in the hell did this happen? Somebody saying we're not out of gas because we have plenty of reserves in just Louisiana. Good luck with that. How much that is going to last? Is it going to last 20, 30 years? Good luck. You have been saving gas for the rest of the life, right? Venezuela was one of the most richest, and it was the country that it was more rich in gasoline and petroleum. Look what happened to it. They have more gas than you. Just saying. Just throwing it out there. Just giving you a little tip. How's everybody doing? And another topic that is a really, difficult topic to talk about, because this is actually happening in Tapachula right now, as migrants are having a really difficult problem. Which is the problem that they're having? That their visas of transit are not being given. Migrants referring to migrants of Haiti, migrants of Central America. All of them, they have been waiting for months and months and months and also years waiting. And now the United States government is pressuring Mexico to make them wait from 3 to 4 months for them to have a number, and from there to have a possibility to get a visa of transit so they can move out of Tapachula. This is an example, a document that we just received today from one of the migrants that is trying to move. And this is a legal document. So these are the permits that the activists, better known as Luis Villagran, that I have put multiple times on here on this platform for you guys to listen. These are the documents that he is consistently saying this is wrong. And here you're going to hear him speak as he talks about, and I will translate, this abuse of power from the government of Mexico to migrants, because he's saying, you know what? This is taking too long. This is taking too long. Why are they prohibiting them from reaching their goal at the border? This man does not understand that there's a process, and there's a process that needs to be respected. But this process is hurting a lot of migrants, and it's hurting a lot of people. And by Biden speaking and saying, come over here, you're creating chaos and a catastrophe at a border that is Tapachula. That you bring in poverty into more poverty, need into more need, necessity into more necessity. You bring in little by little, and you're filling it up. You're filling it up the tank little by little. And to a point that you got these kind of processes, that you got fake documents also applying over there, that they're carrying those fake documents. So if there's an inspection point, they can show the fake document. This is Luis Villagran speaking, and I will translate a little bit. It's a 7-minute video. I don't want to play the whole 7-minute video, but I will translate as he's speaking about this. This is Luis Villagran. He's a professor. He has been a pro-migrant activist for the past, I don't know how many years, but he has been more influenced, and he has been more active since the caravan started. He has been one of the leaders of these caravan makers in Central America, South America, and also ultimately Mexico. Here he speaks about this.
Queremos señalar y exhibir algunas irregularidades que se han oxidado en el Instituto Nacional de Migración, ¿no?
We like to put some irregularities that they have been, irregularities that they have been in the dust, that they're corrosive now in the Institute National of Immigration.
Actualmente la Oficina de Regulación, la que se encuentra en el sur de la ciudad de Tapachula, tiene alrededor un poco más de 5,300 trámites.
Right now, the Institute National of Immigration, the one that is the office that is in Tapachula, the one that regulates the process and the permits, has close to 5,300 applications right now.
Parados, rezagados.
Stopped. Those applications are stopped. They're not moving. They're not in process. There's 5,300 documents that they are specifically right now stopped.
Esto es por culpa de la licenciada Claudia Albore, la encargada de la Oficina de Regulación.
This is because of Claudia Albore, and it's her fault, the leader of the Office of Regulation of Permits.
y del ya conocido y famoso déspota general Aristeo Taboada Rivera.
And another one that is the general, that is a prepotent guy, Aristeo Taboada Mayera.
Entre otros males que ha quejado la militarización del fenómeno migratorio.
And another thing that it has been wrong, that is the militarization of the migrant phenomenon. That is this guy that I just mentioned, that he's a prepotent guy, that he doesn't know the immigration law. And he is a prepotent that he just treats every situation with the point of his feet. So it has to do a lot with the treatment of migrants into the population of migrants. Now, what is happening right here? Let me remove this video and that will be it. What is happening? This is what is happening. You got a president in the United States of America that he's saying that the borders are controlled now, that everything is controlled. But you see right here that there's 5,300 processes of documents that they are held back because the Mexican government is not capable of handling all these processes and all these visas of transit that they are in need. But you got the United States government that is sending a message to stop migrating. But in Central America, they're pushing the migration to make, so you got cops in the middle, you got a sandwich in the middle. But you got a president in the United States that is saying everything is controlled. But you got Central America that is saying fly, leave the country, go and ask for asylum. So you got a middle point where there's Tapachula, where this activist is located, where a lot of people are located. You got a lot of people from Haiti that they're coming over here, more than 14,000 that have been held back in that particular border. And all these people are in need because of a promise that it was made that 125,000 were going to be let in. And now all of a sudden you change your mind and you said to Jen Psaki, I'm going to militarize Honduras, I'm going to militarize Guatemala, I'm going to militarize Mexico. So all the collapse that you just made, it is inevitable. It is right there. It is exactly what happened with Obama. The deportations are still happening. It is human business. You deport them, they come back. You deport them, they come back. The biggest deportee president in history was Barack Obama. He had all the facilities, the detention facilities, full with illegal entry cases. They had all the facilities full with illegal entry cases, and the deportations was massive. So you have a business now that is Obama 3.0 again happening, but under the refugee and asylum wing, using humans. This qualifies. This one doesn't. You enter illegally. There's a cost for the U.S. government. Money. Send them back. They don't want to stay in Mexico. They're going to cross illegally again. Send back. Business. Cycle. People. Vicious cycle. And it is a fact. It's not a conspiracy theory. It is a reality. This is why Barack Obama had great agreements with private prisons, that is MCC, CCA, GEOs. All these private prisons, they had a great relationship with Barack Obama. Yeah, you're my friend. Bring the business. Incredible. But he says that the borders are controlled. Amazing. How's everybody doing? Good evening to everybody. I'm Oscar Blue for Border Network News. Thank you for joining me on this 50-minute video and counting right now. Follow my partner, Real Anthony Agüero, and all the platforms that exist. Also, you can follow Ben Bear Kwame at Real America's Voice News, Will America First, and Sarah Carter in Fox News. You can follow her investigative reporting that is phenomenal all around at every platform. You can follow me at Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Rumble, and my channel and Telegram. Thank you so much. Buy me a coffee. It's the top of the link. If you guys want to contribute to my work, there you have it. And also PayPal. God bless you all. Stay safe. And like we always say, people, peace and love, everybody, because always your country is first. Viva Mexico, and God bless the United States of America.
Lo que necesitamos. Y ya van días y varias semanas.
He hasn't given no response, and it's been days and it's been weeks, and he hasn't said anything. Espero logren su objetivo de la justicia a su país. Luchen por su país. Say the best, basically fight for your country. Están bloqueando el acceso. ¡Viva! Porque la Policía Federal o la autoridad nos está deteniendo el acceso y nos está deteniendo el paso para poder cruzar hacia el Zócalo, señores.